Hi Nova AI Judge Team, my name is Shreyas, and today I'd like to show you BenefitsNavigator, which is my hackathon submission. BenefitsNavigator is supposed to make the ordeal of going through all of the state and federal benefits into a very easy single conversation. With tens of billions of dollars in government benefits going unclaimed, and over 50 federal programs, my goal is to make it very easy for all those people. So we'll start very simply. Obviously, we can see the chat on the left. And if I populate it with a very simple response, what's actually happening under the hood is there's an orchestrator agent delegating the task to an intake sub-agent, which has created a profile, and now it's running an eligibility engine, which will then give us this, which we have all of our eligible benefits on one side. And it talks a little bit more about, the benefit, the processing time and all of that kind of stuff. And so here we can see and also where to apply for it. This is great because if we are taking this person, for example, we can see that we're getting almost $7,800 from EITC, another $2,000 for child tax benefit, $234 for SNAP. This is almost like $10,000 that we're saving this person that can really help a struggling family. You can also submit files into this just to make it a little bit easier. So we'll make a test. I made a test W2 form that I'll link with the judges. But here we can just be, hey, here's my W2 form. Any more benefits I can get. Very simple. And what this will do is there's a document reader, and with Nova's vision capability, it'll extract the income, employer, and address and just really help speed up this process. So it gives you, just makes sure it goes through everything again. It's like, okay, you're eligible for all of this stuff. Finally, one of the biggest things is generating an action plan. Generating an action plan it'll go through the database, and it'll be like, okay, it's best to do these different benefits first because it'll make everything else easier. Again, always making it easier for the people who really need it the most. And why is this agentic? While it's chatting it up, first thing is there's a lot of tools that it needs to use to make sure that your eligibility is correct and that it's not hallucinating. A lot of the code in this is not AI based. The AI is really just there to read everything properly and to really talk to the person and make the user experience easy, but a lot of the eligibility tools is just pure Python. Okay, so here they've run it, and it gives you the first things that you really want to do, correct? So at the top, immediate crisis, first things that we need to get done. High priority is Medi-Cal, and then it gives you the intermediate, kind of higher priorities, and then there's again, tax stuff, but this is hopefully to give a roadmap. And one thing is, it's already been working. Friends have started applying to SNAP, one has discovered that they've qualified for Medicaid, and I think the biggest testament is our neighbor Steve, who's reaching 90, who has been struggling to get benefits, has used this, and he's already told us that there's a lot of benefits to using this. He's gotten a proper plan on how to get all of his benefits, and he said it was very easy to use. And I think that's the biggest accomplishment that we've had, is actually helping somebody. The whole idea is just to have one conversation, every benefit you need. That's the whole idea. Now, why do we choose Nova over other models? First thing is there's extended thinking and multimodal vision. The biggest thing is that there's two models that we can use, which is the reasoning and embedding, which makes everything very, very precise. It's easy to talk to it, and it gets all the precise data from the embedding model. To prevent hallucination, which is the biggest thing that LLMs really struggle with when dealing with this problem, is a lot of the information that needs to be very precise is all deterministic Python. The LLM converses, and the code calculates everything out. The LLM is also able to get all the proper information, and there is a vector database to make sure that we're getting all the right programs. But every eligibility thing is a tool that the LLM will use. For privacy, we never ask for SSN or bank information, and documents are only processed in session. So if I were to reload this, everything would go bad, or everything would be flushed out. For next steps, we're hoping to do voice, Nova Sonic 2, and we are considering Nova Act for autofilling applications, but that does get into confidential information. And finally, we want to expand to more states. Right now, we're using California as the demo state, just because I live in California. But those are the main things. Thank you for listening.